Well, it is a beautiful day, and you are listening to your number one station, RX Radio, and this is the Fatboy Show. And today is Friday, the 31st day of March, 2023. And as we conclude the month of March, can I just say this about this month? It's been many things, and I'm sure you have your own description of what this month has been like for you. But I'm going to go with this one. It's been a cold month. This month has been cold.
Yeah, it is a cold month.
It's been raining regularly
throughout
most of the month. It's been mostly, the skies have been dark during the day. Dark clouds most times. And at night, it's freezing cold. So I have a prediction. Let's check the labor wards in 9 months' time and see if they won't be full of newborn babies.
And right about now, when most people are either out of work or out of business, so they have a lot of time on their hands.
When is Easter, by the way?
Next week.
Next week is Easter?
Next weekend, yes.
Wait. So after this weekend, the next weekend is Easter?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess people are going to be in a good mood, and that can't always be a bad thing. But I'll tell you who's not in a good mood, and that would be feminist activist, scholar extraordinaire, Stella Nyanzi, who you know very well, I'm sure. She obviously fled to Germany, where she is currently residing with her good friend Kakwenza.
And their families.
Yeah, so she spent about 2.5 years in jail, 3 years in jail, while answering charges of electronic abuse. What was that charge?
Cyberbullying.
Basically, she said some mean things to the First Lady on social media and the President's mother.
Yes, the President's mother.
And that got her in trouble, and she was in jail for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, soon after coming out of that situation, she just went to Germany and said, hey, I'm done.
But now that you mention it, it seems like some of these things are calculated. There is that thing the president once said about the leopards nankani. But let me cause trouble, serve some time, and if I make it out, this is my straight visa to wherever I want to go.
Now you sound like me, because I'm usually the cynical one. But I do agree with you that there is a certain faction of opposition actors who are quite interested in living overseas and enjoying all of the amenities that come with being a refugee in those societies. And one of the ways to get noticed is to present yourself as a political dissident, because then you're going to have the entire... all the EU ambassadors, the American ambassador is going to be paying attention to what you're doing and will usually be quick to assist you in the event that you need to travel to those countries. And of course, it's easy then to present yourself as a candidate for refugee status.
And you know what's funny? It's still these countries, when you want to, let's say, go work there, apply for a job, if you're a doctor from here, they may tell you that your degree standard doesn't work well with their standards. And then they will either reject you or they will want you to go back to as an entry level. But then when you say that you're gay or that you're a political dissident, they're happy to have you.
Oh yeah.
Make that make sense.
Oh yeah. There's no one they love more than a political opposition activist or an LGBT person or activist. And that's another thing. Which is why if people post statements or express sentiments that seem to be in favor of gay rights, usually the quick response people give is, oh, you must just want a visa.
So why did Sammy have to come out and apologize? He should have said, yeah, I'm gay. So
well, people say he did the documentary at first because he claims to have been paid to do it.
That's what he said.
So they were saying, oh, so you did it thinking you were going to get your visa, and so because you didn't get the visa, you're like, okay, you turned against them.
And other people were saying that now that it is still a hot topic, maybe he should have, ridden the whole cloud of he's gay and then get his visa. But maybe he was once beaten and he doesn't want to be beaten again.
Yeah, you have to know where the bread is buttered, and he's doing very well for himself as an influencer. Yeah. And I guess it works in his favor to be seen to be in favor of the prevailing narrative or to be more pro-government. Because you're right, if he decides to ride the LGBT wave and they once again forget who he is, then he may not like it.
He may be done for.
But anyway, back to Dr. Stella Nyanzi. So she is over there in Germany, from where she's lobbying all the heavy shots and bullets at all of her political enemies here in Uganda. And in this instance, her target was none other than the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Anita Among, to whom she said this on Twitter, and she cross-posted this on Facebook too. She said, first of all, she posted a picture of the speaker, a side profile view, and said she is fighting against homosexuality because she says it's a form of foreign imperialism from the degenerate West, and yet she simultaneously is bleaching her black skin with chemicals to make herself look like a white Muzungu. We see through your lies. And in the picture of the speaker that she posted, the picture is quite unflattering for the speaker, in which it shows clear signs of bleaching. Because some of the more obvious signs of bleaching is that there will be an uneven skin tone, right?
Yes.
There will be parts that are lighter skin, but then the bleach usually doesn't work on all areas equally.
If you don't do it right, and the speaker has what is called pigmentation.
What's that?
Pigmentation.
Pigmentation.
That is where you have unbalanced skin tones.
Because of the bleaching?
Because of the bleaching. And I think she uses very strong creams, and she doesn't wear sunscreen.
Okay, because, especially the back of her neck looks like it's sunburnt.
Yes.
So she must have applied the creams there and went and stood in the sun.
Even if you don't, but the thing about the sun, even when you're in studio here, you need to wear your sunscreen day.
Really?
Sorry, not day and night. You need to wear your sunscreen on windy days, on when it's raining, whether it's shining, because the sun rays, even when you're not seeing them, they're there. So you need to wear your sunscreen.
And yet, if you just appreciate your normal black skin, you don't even have to worry about it.
Here is the other myth, Fatboy. Even when you look at yourself, you'll see that your arms and your face, they have different skin tones. Yes, your tone may not be 100% the same, but the reason why your face is dark is because you don't wear sunscreen. And sunscreen is not only for white people or brown people or people who bleach.
Wait.
It is for black people like you and I too.
My melanin is my sunscreen.
No, your melanin, yes, is good. It protects you. Now the speaker, when you bleach, your melanin is done for. As in, you have nothing to protect you against the bad sun rays. But it doesn't mean that dark people like you do not need it.
So what do you think about what Dr. Stella Nyanzi said? I've always believed that she's a feminist. She claims to be a feminist. And I've always believed that attacking a person for their appearance isn't a sign of, like, it's not something you're supposed to do.
Honestly speaking, educated as she is, outspoken as she is, I feel like sometimes she's just petty, or that is most of the time. Because whether we like bleaching or not, whether the speaker looks good or bad, that is her right. She has a right to do whatever she wants with her skin.
And why not attack the ideas? I mean,
Exactly.
Look, if she wants to criticize the speaker's stance on the anti-homosexuality bill, she need only to point to the arguments and say, here is why you are wrong. You are you are minimizing human rights. These laws are antiquated. I mean, make the case for why the law is bad without saying, and by the way, Madam Speaker, you look horrible, you look badly bleached, your skin is terrible.
You do not have to attack the other person's character or the way they look for you to make your case. She is a well-read woman. She is a researcher. She knows what she needs to say,
I guess,
for her to have a place, like, to be heard. And I don't know why people believe that those who bleach want to look like white people. Colorism has been here with us since way before the white men came to Africa.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because there is actually research that has been done, like, across cultures, where it is indeed true that lighter skin is counted as a plus.
Exactly.
In human populations.
And it has been here since time immemorial. For instance, the Tutsis in Rwanda have always been favored because of the way they look, their height, their soft skin, and their light skin. And they were always pitted against their Hutu counterparts that are dark and not as pretty. So this has been here. Even in India,
yes,
there is colorism there. It has
Big time.
nothing to do with wanting to look white.
Big time. But even in the Far East, Japan, Korea, look at the Korean pop artists. I mean, their complexion is pale. They're almost white like a sheet.
Exactly.
And of course, that is mostly through the use of makeup. But then that is what is culturally considered to be attractive.
And it has nothing to do with whites.
And it has nothing to do with white people. It's just a paler complexion. It just triggers a certain, I don't know, I think it just triggers some attraction cues in people where you just seem to look prettier just by virtue of being lighter skinned.
That's true.
And now, speaking as a lighter skinned person yourself, like lighter skinned relative to the rest of us here in Uganda, do you not enjoy these advantages?
Relative to you, since you're next to me.
You know, because I saw you posting not a selfie, but like a picture from upstairs, and you were getting a lot of compliments.
I should block you.
You
for
were being
stalking me.
You were being praised for your beauty.
I don't know. Of course, I am light, but of course, Sarah is lighter than I am. We come in different. What is that thing? We come
complexions.
in complexions. We come in. Even my kids are actually lighter than I am. So, but yeah, I know that sometimes people will think you're prettier than the next person because you're light. Only for you to look at the other person and you're like, actually, this person is really pretty.
But it confers a great advantage. You know, there are girls who aren't even pretty, but just because they're light skinned, they're deemed to be prettier. Yes. And yet someone can be darker skinned and be gorgeous, has perfectly symmetrical facial features, body is very well toned, but then they're dark, so they don't look her way, and they instead look at the shapeless, pimple ridden.
Oh gosh.
You know, like
you have to talk about pimples.
Okay, like short hair, like basically all of the qualities that are considered to be minuses for women can be negated if she's light-skinned.
But
we ignore all of them.
Who do you think drives such concepts the most? Is it the men or... Actually, not the women. I think it's the men. Because you see, as a black woman, I am more attracted to dark men.
Yeah, for men, we're supposed to be darker.
So it is you guys that drive all these concepts of, oh, she's light, oh, she's hot. Because if you weren't doing that, we wouldn't be where we are today, where people have to, literally dump themselves into creams so that they look, a complexion lighter. And I think it's the same thing to do with butts. In the beginning, there was a time when being small and slender was the thing. Now we have nyash, where chicks are going to Brazil and other countries to do BBL, and now it is even becoming detrimental to their health because of you guys. Stop telling us that you want more nyash, that you want light-skinned girls.
But don't you suffer from there's a weird backlash that has happened to where you, who naturally possesses all of those qualities, because we live in a culture where we know that women are being encouraged to artificially enhance those qualities, they will look at you, the natural, and say, even you must have bleached.
Oh,
you must have injected your bum. You must have done all those things. Do you know what I mean?
I have been accused of bleaching before, especially that time when RX Radio was just beginning and you posted my pictures in some group. People said, there is a lady, I'll never forget this comment, who said, you all say she's pretty just because she's light. And then others kept saying, but she even bleaches. Hey, come on, guys. We are in Naguru here near Ntinda. If you want to confirm that I don't bleach, please come find me. I'm here all day.
Man, guys, they were looking at your fingers.
No, look at my knuckles. Do they look like I bleach?
No.
Okay. Knuckles get a bit darker because we use our hands.
Yes, but
and
people didn't want to hear that.
A person who bleaches are darker. They are really darker. Banang.
You are roasted.
I was roasted. I didn't have the thick skin you have for such.
But so to Dr. Stella Nyanzi, I would like to implore her to simply change her tactics, because I think attacking the speaker for her appearance, I think, is uncalled for, is unfair. Because if people wanted to attack her for her appearance, it's not like Dr. Nyanzi's beauty queen. Let's be real.
I'm gonna say nothing, but maybe sometimes we need to look at ourselves in the mirror before we cast the first stone.
Actually, she's not. I wouldn't say she's unattractive. If she maybe took better care of herself, ate more appropriately, lost a bunch of weight, she actually would be she's actually not bad.
But what's with
But her-
many
but-
African feminists and looking ragged?
I don't know. I think it stems from a self-hatred that they have, almost deliberately making themselves look bad. And if you go to Twitter, you'll find many conservative pundits there posting before and after pictures of like their daughters when they went to college and became liberals. So they're wholesome daughters who look like nice, wholesome young women. After a few years in college, they have green hair, tattoos, piercings, and all this kind of crazy stuff that you tend to see liberal types embody as a form of expression. I don't know. Is it like rebellion against society? Are you rebelling against?
First of all, I don't think it's self-hate. I think it's people trying to, exercise their freedoms in doing whatever they want.
Yeah, you're free to do anything, but why do you feel compelled to do this with your freedom? You
Why
don't need
do
to
you
damage your appearance.
But that is for you to say. You say that because it's unsightly for you, but probably what they see in the mirror, they like it.
But Dr. Nyanzi's biggest problem isn't what's outside, it's probably what's inside. Her attitude, her character would just make a lot of men flee in
But
the
stop
opposite
saying
direction.
such things about a woman who has one time said she's crushing on you big time. That was a Facebook post,
I
right?
remember, yes, but with that kind of attitude, of course, I had to hesitate. She's not really my type, but had she been a bit more ladylike, I may have considered. Can you imagine me dating Dr. Nyanzi?
Why not? She's a woman, she's smart.